Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Gayla, and I am here capturing some real people, real stories for getting some awesome testimonies and just capturing the heart and soul of the beautiful people who are involved in our wonderful Graviola company. So I just wanted to introduce today Dr. Kristen Bishop, and she's here to join me in a cool conversation. And I have a few little questions I'm going to ask her, but she has a beautiful story and some great results on the products. So I'm just going to ask you to say hello.
Hello. Hello. Thankful to be here and just honored to share, our love of graviola with you today.
Yeah. So just tell us a little bit, tell whoever's going to be listening, like a little bit about yourself and what you want to share about your unique, beautiful background.
Sure. Well, I am actually a allopathic medical doctor. I completed my medical training at Meharry Medical College in 2012, and Dr. Gates and I also share a fellow. We're fellow alums of the prestigious Tuskegee University, and that's how we were actually connected through. Also, dear Keisha, I know she probably has her doctorate by now too, but she connected us, and ever since then, it's just been on a path of wellness, health, and wellness that has opened the door to alternative medicine. Because when I was in my residency program, I knew that there was more out there, and I didn't want to just say, "Here, go to this surgeon, let's cut this, let's remove this tumor," versus actually treating the inner person. Your mind, body, soul connection, and understanding what it matters what we put in our bodies and the effects. We know it's about our diet, but how can we change it? How can we really be committed to it? And I really didn't understand it and have to make that commitment and realization, not only with my physical health and understanding the limitations of that, but also now with my children. Once I discovered and found out that my son was diagnosed with autism, and learning and researching that, Dr. G actually first, she's like, Kristen, this is a toxin overload. His immune system is overloaded. We got to get rid of the toxin. You got to detox. And I'm like, what is detox? So I knew about it, but just understanding the in depths of what that means and how that correlates to us removing the toxins so that we can be mentally, physically and emotionally fit. It's just so important.
hmm Yeah. So you've been on this health and wellness journey in a different way yourself in since it's about 7, 8 years of using different products, using different forms of nutrition to help yourself as well, right? Because when we connected, we started that. It's been longer than that, I guess.
I know it's
How's it
about to
longer
be
than
10
that now?
years. Yeah, it's about to be 10 years this
Yeah, I
spring.
was gonna say 10 years
Awesome.
of just
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow. It's been
hmm
awesome. It's been an awesome journey. I think probably the wake up call first came for me when I was a resident, and you're just expected as a physician to be on the go. There's never any let up, there's never any let
hmm
down, and your body has a limit. And my body reached its limit. I had been in a car accident and I still had to take call, and I just kept working without acknowledging the fact that I'm in pain, because you can't be in pain. You have to take care of those who are in pain. And
hmm
that neglect of myself just led to this prolonged situation where I had to take medical leave. And I've been wanting to come back. But it's just been a struggle. The compass of medicine continually changes. And
hmm
I do miss seeing patients, but I'm and opening myself up to where this journey is taking me now. Once I focus, I had to learn, how can I be there for my patients if I don't take care of myself? So
Yeah.
it's that first.
We both share a story of resilience and of of life of what you didn't know was going to happen and how you have had to pivot into a different way of living, a different way of experiencing life because we both thought we would be on the medical doctor trajectory for our entire lives, but things changed and finding companies like this, finding other ways to still do what we love, which is help people get healthy and helping people to really heal, is really a blessing. And so for people who are pivoting in the world, we want to show you that it's okay to be resilient and accept change, which is two of the things that we both had to do in our lives. I know a lot of people have had to do, but I think when you start going the doctor route, you think that's going to be your life. That was my dream, but spirit had a different path for both of us. And so you was married and had two beautiful children and have been raising them. And as you mentioned, your son Ian has some special needs, and you've seen how these beautiful products have helped you cope with that. And you're muted, so I want you to unmute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and because I want to ask you about that, because that's really how you got to Agravitae, right? Like you came, tell how you actually got a hold of the products.
Sure. Well, this is also through another mutual connection of ours, Miss Dory Peterson. She's a phenomenal nurse. She goes by the name of Rebel Nurse, and
Yay.
she truly thinks outside the box with everything. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Kristen, you got to do this." And so she's like, "You'll feel wonderful." I was like, "This is just what I need," because to be honest, after my children, I still had about 40 plus pounds of weight at least that I needed to lose. That was just too much on my frame, and I felt overweight, fatigued, exhausted, trying to take care of a son with special needs. I'm trying to live the demands of life, just taking care of a household. And I was just literally overwhelmed. I couldn't, and I was engaging in emotional eating. I knew I didn't need to eat it, but I'm trying to meet this carb craving and sugar craving. I'm like, why am I just addicted to the sugar? I know it's not good for me. And we
Mhm.
had a talk, and she was just sharing these products are what's known as adaptogens, and the AM capsule and the PM capsule are phenomenal in that when you take them, they work where your body needs the most. She's like, oh my gosh, Christian, your cortisol levels are probably through the roof. And guess what? They were. And the PM capsule totally changed my life. I started with that with the 7 day sample. She said, here, just take it for 7 days, see how you feel. And then if you want to, you can get the perfect pack. But I started with that 7 day sample, changed my life from the first pill. I wasn't expecting that. To be honest, I was a little skeptical. As a physician, you see so much out here. You're like, it's not going to work for me. Sure, sure. So I just started with the PM capsule, and I was like, well, I need some sleep. I'm burnt out both ends. All the candles, the ends are just gone. So I had the best night's sleep of my life with just that one dose. And I said, okay, let me do this. And then, so for me, I took 1 a.m. and 1 p.m. capsule together because that caffeine jolt, it really does kick in. And I noticed that with the AM capsule, I noticed that I had sustained energy through the day, vitality. And then I could rest well, because sometimes you become overstimulated and you can't settle down and relax in the evening when you needed to. And I noticed that with that as well, um, I was able, when it was time for me to relax and try to have that me time, as I'm trying to now, I'm actually trying to hide from my kids because Ian just tried to pop him on camera. That's why I was muted. I was like, oh, he's about to say something.
Real people, real
We'll
stories,
just
real
roll with
life.
it. He may come back in here and say hello. So just to get
Yeah.
so with that, that's what happened. And it's just changed my life. I haven't I can't. I'm just so grateful that I actually took that leap of faith, to make that change,
Because
and it's just been wonderful.
you've been using the products now for almost a year. Is that, or about what, about 8 or 9 months
It's been
or
a
something
year.
like that?
It's
Yeah.
coming up on 14 months. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you started when at the beginning, because I came in a little bit. I just sort of came in myself recently, and I've fallen in love with the PM capsule myself. So it's my favorite, and that's why I say I think this is both of our favorite products for similar reasons. It sounds like both of us got connected to this during times of stress. At least for me, that's what happened. I decided to come on board because I was going through a stressful experience and needed a change. It's like, okay, Spirit God, what do you have for me next? And boom, this happened. So yeah, the PM capsule, love it. It's a calming, and some people actually take it during the day as well, even though it's marketed as a PM capsule. Sometimes you can figure out how your body responds best to it. Do you take two of them or at one time? Do you take two as
Look,
recommended?
I wish I could take 4 a day. That's how much I love them, but I really look,
I don't know if I recommend that, but
I do the recommended dose of the 2.
you take
So for
two.
me, I do right. I'll do an AM and PM together, usually in the morning, and then I like 1 PM at least at night. That's what I do
Okay.
on average. I've been rotating the formulations. I know they're different recommend. I did do follow the recommended dosages, but sometimes, your body gets used to it, and I had to kinda switch
Mm-hmm.
up switch up a little bit.
Right.
But yeah.
So and that's another thing that a lot of people have found. I found the products to be very gentle. They
Yeah.
don't seem to be very aggressive, but they're working. I can feel that it's working for me. So sometimes you may like sometimes I'll just take one PM capsule and that works for me, and that's okay. So sometimes you just have to see what your body is telling you and to listen to it. But I've taken two. And I found not only am I resting, I'm getting more energy and resting at the same time. It's like they're both happening for me. Like I'll
Mm,
rest, but then I'll wake up feeling more energy. And sometimes it's not as like a sedative. It's not as like it doesn't zonk you out, but it just to me it evens you out, at least for me.
yes,
And then you're like, man, I feel great. It's not like taking a Benadryl or something when you're just zonked out and you have a drag the next day. And so I personally don't experience that. I experience more vitality from it.
I agree. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both love the detox tea. That was the other product. Because my question was, what's your favorite product? And you mentioned the PM capsule. So, what about the detox tea? You think she already has it? I think you have some brewing now, don't you?
I feel it's ready right here. I have to keep it warm in my little mug right here. It's someone gave this to me, which I think is so appropriate for where we are. It's backwards, but it
Yes.
says make things happen. And that's what this is all about as we're on this journey. So I'm just gonna take a little sip because this is really good.
Yeah, and it's gentle too, but and it works well. It's something that you can drink.
Mhm.
Some people drink it every other day or several days a week, and it doesn't give you this overwhelming detox response, but it works on the
It
body.
works. It works. You don't realize how much, and I'll use the word gunk. You just having sludge just inside. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
what a relief it is. But it's not, it's definitely not that experience of,
Mhm.
oh gosh, I'm gonna have an embarrassing moment. No, it's very pleasant. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and you're drinking it in the daytime right now. So sometimes, some people may want to cleanse or detox throughout the day. Like it doesn't just have to be, you don't have to drink it at night. It's got, a lot of great ingredients in it to just help balance the body. And remember, we're detoxing on a cellular level, right? As scientists,
Mhm.
we know everything starts at the cellular level. And sometimes you can't see it, but you know it's happening, right? So but sometimes you can, as you said, right? Like you go to the bathroom and you're like, whoa, or you're passing all of those toxins out of the body that you have been accumulating for who knows how long, right?
Right.
Hmm. You said something to me about your skin when I asked you about what are some of the other beautiful results that you've gotten. You've lost weight. You said you told me that you reduced the amount of puffiness and inflammation that you had in your body, right?
Yes, that's probably what I noticed first. And I didn't, to be honest, I haven't seen the dramatic weight loss as will from other people. And that at first was a little discouraging to me. But then I had to remember it's an adaptogen. What does my body need first? I needed to address the cortisol. I needed to address the inflammation that was causing the puffiness and the swelling. And I noticed I had pain in my joints too, because I'm always on my feet moving. And at the end of the day, my legs were just so painful. But within I would say 2 weeks of me starting it, I could walk comfortable distances again without experiencing pain in joints and aching joints and the swelling in my face. It was just the puffiness. Some of it was just the weight, but then those toxins were being released and eliminated. And On top of that, just Renew Vitality. I always get asked, even a week ago, I was like, your skin looks beautiful. What do you do? And I'm like, well, it's Jesus. But no, just like, but I was like, no, really, I've been detoxing. Like, that's my life. I know. We don't have to look our age. We don't have to look like what we've been through, just as you said, that's the resilience. So that's all a part of it.
That's true, and they're supporting you. So, what's it like being a single mom of two beautiful children, and one of them having the special needs? I've known you for a while, and I've known what you've gone through to try to get your beautiful son into the right schools and around the right people to care for him. He's very sensitive to energy, as we are, as being empaths. But what's it been like for you to juggle that, and how have the products helped you with that?
To be honest, it's been a struggle, and it's a daily struggle that only someone who is living with this can understand. Someone can be supportive and empathetic towards it, but
Mhm.
it's trying to understand, what he needs, and then giving myself grace if I'm trying to reach out, and those resources or the connections are not always there, and to understand that they can adapt. So what he may need today maybe not be what he needs tomorrow, and just being there to be supportive of him.
Mhm.
And so I'm learning that he always lets me know where he's comfortable. Just as you were mentioning about sensitive energies, when he walks in the room, if he's comfortable in the space and he's willing to engage, I'm like, okay, this is a safe space for him. It's a safe space for me. And that in turn also lowers my cortisol levels. I don't know if they're approved for children as of yet. I know it's kind of newer, and I've been wanting to try to figure out a way to help him too as well when he's in situations where he's overstimulated, and maybe there's a way that can, especially definitely the PM capsule for sure, to just know to when to just
Mhm.
be able to relax, because sometimes we're just always on the go. And I could see that. I know it has GABA in there, which is considered an inhibitory neurotransmitter, which would probably be very
Mhm.
helpful for him with just self-regulation and emotional
Mhm.
support. It does help with that, and just anxiety, feelings of anxiety. I know it's helped me be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's take a deep breath, we can get through this.
And it's got magnesium in it. And magnesium has, I was listening, we were listening to one of the NBA players recently. We were watching documentaries, and they were talking about the magnesium that this particular player was using, like oil, magnesium oil. And magnesium is a beautiful ingredient in this product, and it helps relax you. It helps relax the muscles and all of that. So I don't think we studied a whole lot in medicine about
Mhm.
magnesium when we trained. We knew it was
Correct.
there. We knew how to check a magnesium level. We are officially dinosaurs. I graduated in 2004 from medical school. And so I know the medical knowledge has quadrupled beyond what we, had seen since I left practice. But magnesium is one of those things where it does really make a difference when you take it in the body. So I know cacao has magnesium in it, as well, just natural cacao, chocolate cacao, so we need it in the body. And yeah, it's in here as one of the main ingredients, which I love. So we'll
Yeah.
maybe talk more about magnesium as we go on, and importance of it. So, well, cool. Well, I think that was the main things that I wanted to ask you about your beautiful testimony and the things that you've found. One thing I wanted to ask about is how you see the impact of the income opportunity in this, meaning, life happens, and there's, always a beautiful way to have some extra cash coming in as well, and sharing
And
this with other people. So you have a heart for that as well, and so do I. So what would you want someone listening to know about the potential to make some extra income, just sharing these products with people, or how they could position themselves from a business perspective with this, especially those with medical backgrounds, like us?
I think it's a tremendous opportunity because it's just such an I want to say untapped market, but just the opportunities just are endless. And I think we were just talking, I was going to share this too. Today I behold all the abundance that surrounds me. So when you're introducing this product, not just thinking of it like, from just a money standpoint, but it's truly about vitality, changing your life, being committed to that lifestyle and understanding that once you make that choice, you open the door to not just, financial wealth, abundance, independence, but it's also physical, your mental health, your physical body, just having that vitality that you deserve, and wanting to
Mhm.
understand that, it's not just a quick fix in that sense. It's still a commitment because sometimes it's easy to say, well, okay, how can I get this? Or how can when will I see this stream of money? It's with anything, it's an investment and it's a commitment. And so once you make that choice to say, I want to make this change and I want to embrace this abundance, then you open up the doors of opportunity because you just never know who's out there that's ready to make that change with you. And I think when we take that approach, it opens the door to limitless things.
It does. And right now, at this particular time, we are in the middle of a body imbalance 90-day experience. And one of the things that I know I found to be very helpful that I missed from being a part of a direct sale or network marketing company and business and is the camaraderie. I had been away from it for a few years doing some other things. I had gone into shaman training and was working as a shaman and, working as a healer in that capacity. And it's been beautiful. I love what I was doing and I still have that in me. But I miss the camaraderie of everybody moving in the same direction, getting results and celebrating other people's success. And so, how do you feel about now being pulled back into this beautiful, we doing this 90-day experience now, but having other people doing the same types of things you're doing? Has that been helpful for you too, especially to stay consistent?
Oh yes, accountability is key. You can't forget that because when you see someone else like, hey, I'm committed to this, I'm gonna do this, you're like, you know what, let me make my tea today. I'm gonna take let me go for a walk, let me, I'm gonna put that piece of cake away because everybody else is doing it. I need that because when you feel isolated and by yourself, it's easy to, get discouraged and to think, well, why does it matter? And so knowing that there are other people out there that are like, hey, it's not working. What I'm doing is not working. I know that there's better out there and I want the best for myself. And when I looked at it that way versus let me think about it for money, it helped me. That's what helped me because you do want to make the money, but I don't want it to come off like I'm just like this salesman or something forcing something down your throat.
No,
That's
that's
it,
not what
it
we
you
do.
That's not what we do. It's
Right.
the desire within you to want to change and be better. Because
Mhm.
once you're committed to it, then you're willing to commit to that path. And then
Right.
you'll, and then you can enjoy the results. But, definitely it's never a forced thing. It's never a forced thing. When you're ready to take the leap, we're here.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate you. And I just had one question to end our beautiful conversation is what's one thing that you've overcome that you're the most proud of?
hmm, I would say acceptance, and that's kind of helped build resilience too. I think they're both intertwined because
Mhm.
with my son and as a medical doctor being trained, when you see a condition or you're told about a condition, I'm like, well, how did this happen? What can I do? I'm trying to research it. How can I fix it? And just going in prayer, talking to God, just being transparent. He was like, made him. Why are you trying to change that? And I was like, but God is, I'm having the stress. I'm going over here. I really can't do anything because I'm always having to take care of him. And I didn't want to neglect my daughter because I'm having to invest so much in him. And it was just frustrating me. And the Lord was like, no, um, don't think of it as something you have to fix. Embrace, Ian's superpowers. What I've graced him with, his ability to we can just focus on one thing, but he sees 100 things at the same time. And when I thought about that, how overwhelming can that be? But then how awesome is that? Because you never miss anything and you're totally aware of what's
Mhm.
going on around you. And I think that's it's a perception that autism is a lack of awareness, but it's actually hyper awareness. It's super, and like you said, super sensitive. And so once when I thought that he was ignoring me, but it was actually that he's paying attention to the hundred other things that I'm not. I
Mhm.
was like, oh, okay. And so it's still a journey, but it's an awesome journey. And so I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful to be his mom. I'm thankful to be Michaela's mom as well.
Me too. I met those two beautiful babies, and I'm grateful to have been in their presence ever since they were little, and seeing them grow and seeing how you have accepted acceptance. What a beautiful way to end this time together, because I'm sure there's someone listening who can relate exactly to what you're going through, and that mother or father or caregiver is pulling their hair out trying to change things. We were just saying how we wish we could give up control. you know and I think I have been honored to receive that acceptance. So with that, thank you, and thank you for spending time with us today and sharing your real people real story and how these lovely graviola products have impacted you and your family. So thank you, Kristen.
Thank you. So
Thank
honored to be here.
you. You're
Okay.
welcome.